Hi there, this is a cry for help, please. I'm requesting Conspiracy Cats, can you please?
When you scroll, you'll see when,
including the issue of
Today we take a look at one of the more famous flat earth fanatics, Mark Sargent. He has a series of videos he calls Flat Earth Clues, which he thinks is some kind of educational material for what the world looks like. We have chosen to look more closely at a statement, which Mark seems to have been such good evidence that he has included in 3 of 21 videos. In other words, it should be a real killer when it comes to proving that the Earth is flat. Let's start by watching a video he calls Long Haul.
The first part of the clue is the utter lack of non-stop flights from anywhere in this hemisphere, which is why I gave you multiple cities in each group. And here's the plot hole for you. Flying from international cities like Sydney, Rio, Santiago, or anywhere else close by, you can't get a single non-stop flight, no matter how much money you pay. I tried to do this for an entire night, and it was like playing an online casino game, one that I was losing most of the time. The connections kept coming in like spam windows. Start in Christchurch, go to Auckland. Start in Auckland, go to Sydney. Start in Sydney, go to Dubai or Los Angeles or somewhere else that makes no sense. Some of these connections took the trip over 50 hours to complete. Go ahead, try it yourself. You may find one nonstop. But even then, the strangeness doesn't end there, because the speed is wrong, till you pull up the flat Earth map and look at the farthest 2 points, which just coincidentally are anywhere in Australia and most of South America. Or my example of Lower Africa, which you can see isn't west at all. It's a shell game, and a very good one at that. Keep people guessing with multiple connections and layovers, jumping from city to city.
So Mark has spent lots of time trying to find direct flights between continents in the southern hemisphere. Mark must totally lack the ability to search information on the internet. We went out and looked and immediately found many options. This e.g. LATAM Airlines connection between Santiago de Chile and Melbourne. We chose the LM805, which is on the road between Santiago de Chile and Melbourne when we make this video. Then we went out and tried to book a ticket. No problem, for €977 we can fly between the continents. With direct flights taking 14 hours and 20 minutes. This is how the nearest road would look on a flat Earth. Completely impossible to cope with in 14 hours and 20 minutes. Santiago de Chile to Los Angeles takes 11 hours and 25 minutes. And then it is very far to Melbourne, independent Earth is flat or a globe. So Mark, why didn't you find connections? Are you a scammer or an idiot who can't search for information? Let's look at a video Mark called The Magic Show.
This was then put to the test. While just about everyone with a cell phone knows about GPS and how it can track things, many people don't know that even though it's a system built by the military, there is a very public aspect to it. So while your phone is tracked at all times, so are other things, most notably all air traffic. Now, if you're military, you could view military planes. If you work at a cargo carrier like UPS or FedEx, you can view transport planes. The general public is mostly limited to commercial air traffic. This can be viewed in several places, and the one I chose was planefinder.net. All these sites do basically the same thing, track every commercial plane in the world from start to end in real time. So I spend day after day looking at the Plane Finder global map, which you see here. At any given time, it's tracking between 3,000 to 7,000 flights that are en route anywhere in the world. You'll notice 2 different colors for planes, red and yellow. Yellow just means there's a 5-minute delay in processing and only applies to the United States. The point here is, in order to prove out these flights that go against flat Earth theory, I need to watch a few as they cross either the South Pacific or Indian Oceans. The web page updates automatically, but just to be sure, I close and reopen the page every 30 minutes or so and wait for an ocean plane. And I wait, and I wait, and I wait some more. Hours pass, days pass, and no red planes to entertain me. And somewhere in this process of me just staring at these empty oceans, waiting for a plane to cross, something occurs to me. Can you guess what it is? Nothing is crossing these oceans. Not non-stops, connections, multiple connections, nothing. But that's not possible, right? The planes have to reach their destinations. So I change gears and just watch the coastlines of anything in the southern hemisphere, and I start to see it. I follow a simple plane out of Brazil on its way to South Africa, which, by the way, is not part of the long-haul argument. It's offshore just a few hundred miles. I get something to drink, and when I come back, it's gone. Just a glitch, right? So I follow another, and another, and the same thing happens again and again. Once the plane reaches an imaginary line in the water, GPS makes it disappear.
The type of pages Mark is looking at uses data from the aircraft's ADSB, a system that lets aircrafts determine its position via satellite navigation and periodically broadcasts it. ADSB is being incorporated in various jurisdictions worldwide. So not all planes have it yet. The primary purpose is to know where you are, not to tell other aircraft where you are. Aircraft are equipped with other transponders to avoid collisions and identification of air traffic control and other planes. So it's not just military aircraft you don't see on these internet pages. Most helicopters are not seen, many business jets are not visible either. Mark, that you do not see any aircraft is because the Earth is not flat. Until recently, these free sites have only shown data captured with land-based antennas. Since the Earth's curve sets a limit on how long a radio signal lasts, planes have not been seen when they have crossed the great oceans. If you pay, it has also been possible to access data that is captured by means of satellites. This has not been a secret. If, instead of staring at planes that crossed oceans, you took the time to read the information on these pages about how they work, you would find out why you did not see these planes. Now Flight Radar 24 has also released satellite data freely. So now you can follow planes all over our planet. Mark, all I raise is information that you can easily find out with a simple search on the internet. The last part Mark takes up flying is the video he calls Hiding God.
The first statement is this: you are being hidden. What do I mean by that? Well, this goes back to Clue 7 and Clue 9, which talk about the flights in the Southern Hemisphere. If you are flying a plane over the Southern Hemisphere, your flight is not being tracked. How can this be used to find out the truth? It's simple, it's quick, and it costs no money. No matter what country you live in, send a quick note to your local, state, or federal representative and ask them this question: why are citizens of our country flying over oceans without the safety net of the GPS system? And remind them that GPS stands for global, not partial. Without GPS, anything could happen to your plane and no one knows where you are. And while you're at it, remind them that the GPS system was built by the United States Department of Defense, who never does anything small. The system that is in effect now has what appears to be huge deliberate gaps in the southern hemisphere only. Do not mention flat Earth. Just voice your concern about the safety of you, your loved ones, and your fellow citizens. Will they get back to you? Possibly. Will they give you a satisfactory answer? Not a chance. because they will only have what the military gives them. What this will do, however, is create a unique buzz in certain circles that may prove to be useful later. The more politicians or high-ranking officials you contact, the greater the noise. The motivation here, as you can tell, is general public concern.
Here Marx tries to scare us that it is dangerous to fly in the southern hemisphere. Those in power risk our lives to hide the truth. What you see or do not see on these internet sites that shows how planes fly has nothing to do with safety. He tries to get us to believe that systems were built and controlled by the United States and its military. A modern GPS receiver today receives data from American, Russian, Chinese and European satellites. The Swede Håkan Lans is the designer of a tracking system, Self-Organized Time Division Multiple Access (STDMA data link), which is one of the basics of a DSB used by aviation. So this is an international system. Nothing the US can use to fool us. So in conclusion, it's false statements. Mark, will you remove these false videos from your account? Or are you just a scammer? Mark, if you keep the videos then you should complement with proof that this video is not true. Good luck. Here's another picture of planes flying where they can't fly according to Mark. Now let's take a look at what IC is doing today.
Hi Arctic. I'm a little busy. We have been given a secret assignment somewhere in the US. They have a flat earth problem regarding school buses. We have received a description of a man carrying a sledgehammer who screams things to school children. Now I have to work. We have many buses to guard. Thanks for this time.